Hi, T.O.T. Carlson here, and today we're going back in time to the world of classic television, specifically classic aviation-based television. We're going to be taking a look at this. This is the DVD set of Sky King, classic TV series from the 1950s, which starred Kirby Grant and Gloria Winters. I'm going to do an unboxing of this release and share my opinions. This is kind of an obscure title that's not available through traditional stores, so it is a little different than my other reviews. First of all, again, this set comes in this bound brownish packaging that actually does look very nice, and it comes with this book that kind of has the same looking cover there. The book actually, which has a lot of pictures and trivia in it, resembles a pilot's logbook. I actually like the way that looks. But now let's see what we get inside the actual box. First of all, we have our spine here that has the title of the show in gold. For some weird reason, they put the telephone number to call to buy the set down there, which is weird considering if you have this, you own the set. But yeah, that looks nice too. And then top, bottom, sides look pretty plain. There are a few variations on this set. We'll get into that later, but I'm going to pull the discs out now. It's just come in these little thin packs, which honestly doesn't look like the most professional thing in the world. But again, stuff we'll get to later. There is a bonus disc included that I'll show off first. It's a CD and it has some old aviation radio dramas. There's a few episodes of Sky King and then a few other series. I'm not really familiar with these. Obviously, I was born long after radio dramas were a thing of the past. And then we have 18 discs containing the show. This is disc 1. I like how the discs have the logo for the show and a list of each episode that's on there. Disc 1 also has a brief Kirby Grant interview on it. Disc 2. Disc 3. Disc 4. Disc 5. Disc 6. Disc 7. Disc 8. Disc 9. Disc 10, Disc 11, Disc 12, Disc 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And one thing too, these actually have a purple bottom, which implies that they're DVD-Rs, which are often used for burn-on-demand releases and personal burn discs and things like that. Yeah, Sky King originally aired between 1952 and 1959, but it's aired in syndication over the years many times on many different stations. The original season aired in 1952, and when that went into syndication, they began producing an additional 3 episodes for a total of 4 seasons, and I believe 72 episodes total. So they made a pretty good amount of episodes, and of course you have to keep in mind with all the costs of aviation and so forth, this wouldn't have been a cheap show to produce. The show, of course, revolves around Skylar King, or Sky as he's known for short, who lives on his ranch and pilots his plane, the Songbird, often going around the area and capturing crooks and helping those in need. He's often assisted by his niece Penny King and his nephew Clipper in the earlier episodes. Throughout the show, there's sort of a revolving door cast of additional characters and actors, but Sky and Penny remain the 2 constants throughout the show's duration. Despite this being set in modern times and featuring modern technology like airplanes, it's largely a Western, featuring a lot of standard Western themes, stock characters, plot points, and the like. But even if some of the things do feel a bit like cliches, the villains don't just feel like the stock villain of the week type characters. They actually have believable motivations in a lot of cases, and that at least helped elevate this show a little more compared to some of the others of its era. Again, the modern theme and setting really helped Sky King to stand out from a lot of those other shows of the day, and it's a shame this one doesn't get talked about more because it is quite entertaining. I mean, it's not something you can just go into the store and buy, which is a shame given how many inferior shows have been released on DVD and given the royal treatment over the years. I remember, when I was a young boy, my father's actually a retired airline pilot, and when he wasn't working, we'd wake up on Saturday mornings and watch the old syndicated repeats of this show. I mean, this show is so old, I think the first season actually came out before my dad was born. So, again, it's been around for a while, and unfortunately, Kirby Grant passed away in 1985 in a car accident. Ironically, he was driving to see the Space Shuttle Challenger launch on its final successful mission. Now, you're probably wondering, if you're on this channel, how does this DVD set measure up? Chances are, if you're here, you're already a fan of the show, and chances are you might have stumbled across that website that's selling the show, and you're wondering how these discs look. This is where things start to get complicated. Apparently, Kirby Grant actually owned the rights to the show outright. Nabisco was the sponsor at the time, and they sold him the rights to the show, and I guess he made a lot of money on the syndication of it later on. The problem is, there's actually two major problems with this release. First of all, the price. This set costs almost $200. You get 18 discs, plus that bonus disc of the radio dramas I was telling you about. And unfortunately, 72 episodes for $200, not a good deal any way you shake it. By comparison, Married with Children was on the air for about 11 seasons, and I think just under 250 episodes. You can get that complete series for $30. And similarly, I mean, the TV show Cheers, which was on television for, just over 10 years, you can get that on a high-def Blu-ray set for just over $100. So why are we paying $200+ for a DVD set of something that only ran for 72 episodes? And that brings me to my other complaint. The picture quality on this release is terrible. These episodes just look atrocious from start to finish. I don't know what condition the original masters for Sky King are in. I don't even know if the original masters for the show still exist. But it looks very bad. You can just tell how soft it looks, all the print damage. Some of the episodes, the framing even looks wrong. Like there's black space at the top of the screen and clearly some cropping at the bottom. It even looks crooked. I mean, I don't really know how else to explain this. Again, I don't know if there's any possibility of restoring the show and making it actually look halfway decent, but some company really needs to get the rights to the show. I don't know if the site that's selling these sets is totally legitimate or not. I mean, again, Sky King, the rights were owned by Kirby Grant directly, and he died in 1985, so I would assume the rights probably belong to his estate. And I don't know if this website's endorsed by his estate. It's skyking.com, but there are a few red flags on that website that really have me concerned as to whether these are legit releases or not, outside of the price and the picture quality. First of all, take a look at the banner at the top of the site. Beautiful looking banner, honestly, but there's one great big red flag there. The plane pictured there, that's not the Songbird. So, I mean, that looks like it was done on the cheap by someone that didn't know what they were doing, even though the rest of that banner looks very nice. And then you scroll down a little. For some weird reason, there's a phone number at the bottom of the screen for phoning to the Netherlands. What does that mean? I have no idea, and I've never seen anything like that on any other site selling anything like this. And you do see a few other things for sale on the site. Like there's some t-shirts that actually don't look half bad. And there are some other versions of this set. I think they've been tweaking this a little over the years. There's even like a newer condensed set that goes for about $130, which I guess takes up less discs and doesn't have the book. But even that's still vastly overpriced for the inferior quality of this set. So this is what it comes down to. I love Sky King. I think it's a great show. I think it's something that everyone should go back and revisit at least once, whether you're discovering it, rediscovering it, or you're just curious about old aviation movies and TV shows. Sadly, this release is vastly overpriced and the picture quality is terrible. So this is my verdict. Don't buy this set. Hold out and see if maybe a niche company like Shout Factory or somebody can get the rights, do some remastering, and put out a decent looking version of the show. Oddly, I didn't see too many YouTube videos covering Sky King. I didn't see, I think, any covering any of these DVD sets. So I'm going to say, even if you're a big fan, I would hold out until a better set comes out. There have been a few, like, just on the cheap DVDs that have been released, sold separately. And I don't own any of those, so I can't really comment on those. But if you want your Sky King fix, maybe pick those up until we get a decently priced complete series set. That's going to be your best bet for now. But don't go and blow $200 on this because it's just not worth it. Are you a fan of Sky King? Did you pick up this set yet? What do you think about it? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content as I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.